This is the TOTO Drake elongated toilet. It's got a cotton white color, and what struck me at first glance was its clean and modern look. The bowl is elongated, definitely more comfortable than the old round ones, and the tank has a soft, slightly curved style that doesn't feel industrial but still looks sharp and simple enough to blend in most bathrooms. From my experience, this isn't just a regular toilet with some high-tech buzzwords slapped on. I'll be honest, when I saw all the fancy terms like Tornado Flush, Siphon Tech Glaze, and even eWater Plus Tech in the product description, I thought, okay, is this really gonna make that much of a difference, or is it just marketing? So I've taken some time to actually live with this toilet, and I want to break down how it performed, what it was like to install and use, and whether I think it's worth the investment. Let me start with key features. TOTO calls this a two-piece toilet, which means the tank and bowl are separate. That can sometimes make installation a little trickier, but it's also easier to handle if you do it yourself or with a friend. The build is solid. At 91 pounds, you can feel the ceramic is high quality, and nothing feels lightweight or cheap. The MW78638084CEG-01 model comes with a WASHLET Bidet Seat, which is basically an electronic seat attachment, with features to help you get cleaner than with traditional toilet paper. The seat is heated, which I didn't realize how much I'd appreciate until those cold mornings. It also has front and rear warm water cleansing, with multiple temperature and pressure controls on a simple wireless remote. The bidet seat comes with something called a deodorizer, which is a little filter in the seat that helps keep smells contained, and the warm air dryer is great if you want to use less toilet paper. The remote is nice and slim with a touchscreen that's backlit, which helps at night, and even guests have had no problem figuring out the main buttons. So, about the flushing. The Tornado Flush system is basically a fancy way of saying the water swirls strongly around the bowl. Instead of splashing down from holes under the rim, the water comes out of two angled nozzles, forming a circular vortex effect. From my experience, this actually does a better job of washing the sides of the bowl, and I haven't seen much sticking or smearing. The flush uses 1.28 gallons per flush, which is less than older toilets, but I haven't noticed any loss in power. I know some water-saving toilets can leave you with extra cleanup or double flushes, but this one has handled everything on the first try. It's honestly a relief not to have to think about whether the flush will do the job. For anyone confused about the Siphon Tech technology, that just means the bowl is coated in a super smooth glaze that's meant to keep waste from sticking. What that means every day is that cleaning the bowl takes much less effort. I still clean the bowl every week, but I genuinely notice fewer tough stains. And TOTO has something called Premised, where the toilet lightly sprays the inside of the bowl with water before you use it, so things wash away more easily. I should mention the eWater Plus feature, which sanitizes the bidet wand using electrolyzed water each time you use it. This isn't something you see or smell, but the idea is it helps keep germs down. I admit I'm not a germaphobe, but I do appreciate that you don't have to worry about manually cleaning the nozzle. Comfort height is helpful too. Some toilets are so low you feel like you're squatting at the gym, but this model is a bit taller, which is way easier on your knees and back, especially if you're taller or have anyone older in the house. That said, it's not the absolute tallest. TOTO has a separate, universal height, which is even higher, but I'm comfortable with this standard one. The seat itself feels wide and sturdy. It's plastic, but not flimsy, and the soft close feature means the seat doesn't slam down, ever. One thing I want to touch on for folks thinking about replacing their old toilet is installation. This model is a floor-mounted toilet that fits a standard 12-inch rough-in, which means the distance from the wall to the flange is a common size. That said, double-check your measurements before ordering, because if your rough-in is shorter or longer, the toilet might not fit flush to the wall. I installed it myself with some help, and the hardest part is making sure you get a good seal on the wax ring and tight connections for water. The WASHLET power cord is a bit short, so your outlet needs to be close, something to plan for if you don't already have one by your toilet. Now for the nitty-gritty, using this every day. What really surprised me is how much the electronic bidet and heated seat changed my routine. Even as someone new to bidets, I got used to the cleansing options in just a day or two. The water temperature is adjustable, so even in cold months there's no shock, and the pressure settings mean you can go super gentle or stronger as you prefer. The drying function helps cut back on toilet paper, but I admit I sometimes still use a bit just to finish up. The bowl size is slightly larger since it's elongated, which in my opinion is perfect for those who want a bit more space or comfort. The large water spot means waste is less likely to mark the bowl, which helps hygiene and makes cleaning easier. The only downside I noticed is that, very occasionally, there's a little smearing on the bowl with certain uses, but it's honestly a lot less compared to older toilets I've had. One thing I had some initial concerns about was the amount of noise. The flush is fairly strong, but it's not overly loud. The seat's gentle closing is also nearly silent. In my experience, the deodorizer is subtle. You won't notice a perfume smell, but you will probably notice less odor hanging in the air, especially in small bathrooms. Something else to keep in mind is the look. While I think the toilet is generally sleek, the tank is a bit bulkier than some ultra-modern one-piece toilets. If you're picky about every angle, you might notice it's not the absolute slimmest. That doesn't bother me though. I actually like the extra tank space for storing a cleaner or wipes out of sight. The cotton white color matches most sinks and tubs easily. About value, this toilet is definitely an upgrade. With the bidet included, it's not the cheapest model you'll find. But from my experience, the quality and features match what you're paying for. The thing feels solid, flushes powerfully, and has thoughtful details that make every trip to the bathroom better. Heated seat, reliable cleaning, and a gentle, strong flush. For anyone on the fence about switching to a bidet toilet, or simply wanting to upgrade from an older builder-grade toilet, I'd recommend the MW786304CEG Stock 01 if your budget allows. It's perfect for new homeowners looking for upgrades that actually add comfort long-term, or for families who want a reliable and efficient toilet that just quietly does the job every time. In terms of everyday performance, I've had little to complain about. My only real suggestions are to make sure your power outlet is close enough for the seat, and consider professional installation if you're unsure about plumbing. While the initial setup took me a bit longer than a basic toilet, the daily benefits are clear. In conclusion, the TOTO Drake elongated toilet is a big step up from most standard two-piece toilets, both in function and comfort. The bidet and smart features like premised, deodorizer, and heated seat really do make daily life easier and more pleasant, while the Tornado Flush and Siphiontech tech keep cleaning simple. From my experience, it's efficient, comfortable, and thoughtfully designed for modern homes. I will share detailed information about the TOTO Drake elongated toilet in the comments section, everyone. Thank you for watching.